talk about it. How are we all today? I'm in a happy space today. I'm in a better mood today. Not that I wasn't in a good mood yesterday. I was in a fantastic mood yesterday. I was tired, very tired. The sea is very tiring. Who have we got in? That's Cheryl. That's Jimmy. What's the recipe for today then? Let's see if I have any interesting people on here. I wouldn't define them as trolls, but it was definitely of a trolling nature yesterday, wasn't it? Bless him. So I'm sure he'll be on. Hopefully he won't be. If he continues, I'll just have to block him, like, because he's a bit silly, to say the least. But I do like people that come on, like David, especially when they come on to bring questions like that, because at the end of the day, people like that make the points that the questions that need answering for the people, because those are the thoughts that are in their head, you know, because they've been trapped with inside the lies. I just put that there was a lawyer, believe it or not. You know, I'm not keen on lawyers. I don't know if you've guessed that, by the way. But there was a lawyer that was putting some very good information out and talking about a case action on this coronavirus pandemic, whichever you want to class it as, a plandemic. You know, all the different things you can call it. But yeah, so yeah, I mean that would I can see this. I can see it being a way of spreading the wealth to the people, because ultimately everyone's actually got a claim, haven't they? Because end of the day, every single man and woman and child really has all been put under those restrictions that ultimately were all unlawful, illegal, and it's all been a complete farce. So you know, when they're going to have to pay for that. So ultimately, you know, everyone should be compensated, and you know, I can see it can be a start, a point of start for the people to certainly boost the economy again, wouldn't it? No one, austerity wouldn't be around there, so it would certainly be a way of eliminating austerity. You know, what better of a way is it? Because I mean, I always say, I mean, I've always been one for making crime pay, be that through like what the Baron David Ward is doing with his affidavits, and creating liens against all these crimes, all these frauds, i.e. charging you tax, i.e. council tax, VAT, you know, and in fact just enforcing acts and statutes upon we the people, who they class as governed when they have no authority to class as governed, because you remember, he who makes the claim has to provide the material evidence to substantiate that claim, which I think we all understand. That's an impossibility, because in the UK alone, we know that 67 million didn't sign no agreement for them to enforce their action statutes upon them. So, come here, Max. Just getting my dogs a car. Yeah, Maggie. Just put my dog on the lead. So, what's the topic for today then? I've had some more brilliant news regards the Purple Plum community. Wow, is all I'll say to that. Wow, and I mean wow. And I'm saying that because I'm so happy for everyone, because of what we as a collective, and that will be whoever's within the community, that is, because there is no I in teamwork, as you should know. So what the community will be doing for the people, wow, you know, we're incurring everything, because ultimately, you know, we are all self-governing. So as a community, as a self-governing community, or a self-governing community of communities, what better is there than to have everything that is in our hands? That was what John Winnow was pointing out to, really. Because remember, you know, realistically, within that flag, because the Masons, as we know, the Freemasons, are the ones that are trying to take control. Well, we've now got the instruments that they was using. The only difference is we've taken it out of their hands and put it into the masses. So it's in all your hands. Oh, here he is again. Let me see if I can block him, actually. Yeah, I'll just block him. Goodbye, Jason. I did think you'd come back, but if all you're going to do is insult, you're as well to just go, because there's no helping some people. So rather than have you just come in here to just disrupt and upset the people in here, you might as well just go, so you're gone. Good thing about having it on the phone, so I can just block them. So much easier. Yeah. So everything that they had, which was the 8-pointed star that you'll see on the Queen, you know, that 8-pointed star is yours, guys. That's what, you know, with John Winnow, with the flag that was there for you, for every single one of you out there. That when I went over to Ireland, to the grave, to the memorial of St. Patrick, and put that back into the flag, because the flag was given to you all. You know, that flag was created ultimately for the free passage and for the protection of anybody using that flag. But they hid that from you. They hid that point from you. That's why I've always been on that mission to capture that flag in the now space, which has now been done, and give it back to every single one of you, because you all deserve it. Because it doesn't just protect you. You know, it's about an order, isn't it? It's about bringing an order, an order of equality. Yep, an order of rule one, rule equal, under the peace and neutrality, which that flag was. Because the flag was all about not war. It was to end all wars. There is no more wars, people. The final battle is of the mind, which is what's going on now with all the malakia of the C-19, what do you call it? This common cold that they're trying to use to, well, it's pretty obvious, you know, problem, action, and then the solution, well, certainly appears to be the problem, because we've known what vaccines, the evidence that's been shown on the vaccines has been exposed for a long time now. There's questions, major questions, that they'll refuse to answer because they can't. So people really need to follow Christopher James. I don't know him. Hang on, someone's come on. Adding Kirk Williamson. It's adding you. It's amazing that. It doesn't normally add people, so hey ho, you're one that's not being shadow banned. Still adding you, mate. Still adding you, Kirk, if you wanted to come in. Hi Don Pat. Pat even. So have Joe. Roy. Hey buddy. So yeah. I'm not ready to still adding you, Kirk. And if you wanted to come on or not, but you know, it's adding you. So Andy, finally caught you live. Yeah, so I mean, basically, you know, as John was saying, everything that was done Everything that's being used against us, you know, that's us now. The group, the government, so to say, which obviously has been absolutely categorically proven that there's no such thing. Not that I want to. I mean, obviously, we're going to need some form of rule. Not that it's. I don't think it's actually needed, because I think really the rule really that's there is only to protect those that have been doing the harm. So ultimately, should they be protected? Well, I don't know. They've got their own private securities, haven't they? See, that's the thing, isn't it? Why are all those private securities? You sellouts doing what you do for money, protecting these criminals, or you private, you bodyguards. What is it with you bodyguards? Have you got no fucking morals? Just doing as you're told. Is it malicious? Yeah. Is it military? I'm military. I'm Reginald. Yeah. I know what I'm doing. I'm there to protect. Aren't you just doing it for money, guys? We all, until we expose our unlawful conversion and legal fiction, which was created when born, we shall never be free. And this is what Christopher James is doing in Canada. Yep. That's also what we was doing as well. I mean, we've completely exposed that fact, and that's why we made the Live Life claim, by the way, Jefferson. The reason why we made the Live Life claim was it was a double whammy, really. It wasn't just for expose, so that you can actually speak with these policemen, and give them an identification, whereas you're not going to trap yourself within the fiction, because you'll never answer to the fiction, guys. You'll never answer to the fiction again, not until you're of the stature and of the understanding of being your attorney general over your fiction, and then you'll be able to be in the control of your own self, your own being. You'll be a man, my son, so to say. You'll be the man, not the fiction anymore. And the man is the one that is the body. You're not the placenta. You're not the legal fiction. The legal fiction was created for you. It was created. It was your body corporate, whatever you want to call it. But ultimately, it was of you because it was of the placenta. It's it's your half sister, because it is your half sister. Because everybody's. Hey, buddy, how you doing, bud? All good, mate. All good. What are you doing up here? Oh, I know. Don't matter. So yeah. So whether or not you all know it, you've all got a half sister, because your placenta is the Immaculate Conception, which is only of the mother, yeah. So that is in essence is your sister, because we're all half men, half women, because I'm of the mother and I'm of the father. But yes, but my placenta, as you should understand, is only of the mother, and that's why it was called the Immaculate Conception. I know I was just sharing what Christopher James has been doing for 20 years. No, Blake, hey mate, every bit helps, mate. We're all in this together, isn't it? We're all a part of this awakening. And remember, I do what I speak, and there's other people speak, and there's no one way of people to instill this knowledge within oneself. I mean, I'm only here to because I can't tell anybody. Yeah, I can't tell any of you out there. The knowledge that I'm sharing is not going to save you, not until you've gone and done the long hours. And to be truthful, you have to live, you have to be that way, you have to live that way, because you've been in such a you've got into such a habit of being in the wrong way, because you was introduced to being in the wrong way, you was indoctrinated to being in the wrong way, you've been programmed to be doing the wrong way. So you have to now free yourself, and to free yourself is very difficult, very friggin' difficult. It shouldn't be, but it is. It's so difficult, pure and simple, because of the programming. If you'd have never have known that in the first place, you'd have been brought up with the truth, no one would be in the same issues now. There wouldn't be any troubles out there. I mean, they're talking about all the problems and all this lot. Well, these people, they don't realise. They're just that is the byproduct. That is the byproduct. And with the violence, well, there you go. Look at like the Life of Brian said, hey, look at the violence inherited in the system. The system. What system? Yeah, if there isn't a system, then what is that system? What is this matrix that was created for us? This farm that we've all been on for so long, like, yeah. Courtney Heading actually took Matt Hancock and his cohorts to common law court last September for vacant damage and were found guilty of the crimes against humanity. Yep. So that's another point about the common law side, guys. You know, all these common law courts. When is it we're going to have actually some, you know, here you go, bodyguards, you militia, you people out there that go and do these works, following orders for these people that pay you money, even though you damn well know, yeah, these people aren't good people. You know full well, if you ever did your own due diligence to find out who it is you're working for. You know, just like the military would have done if they'd have done their due diligence to find out whether, you know, the wars were legit, you know, before they went out and fought them. They would have all known, instead of coming back and wanting to suicide because of knowing what they now know, you know. So, you know, always make sure you do your due diligence before you do anything. It's not an order. Order followers don't have morals. Moralistic people with morals will make sure that they understand what it is that they're being told to do before they do it, because they don't just take orders. They make sure they do the research and know what they're doing before they take that 30 fucking shekels to go and do the dirty work, yeah? You know, so, you know, what do we need? You know, we're talking about common law court there, and you know, we're getting the actual. You know, we're found guilty. Who's going to enforce it? Well, you know who's not going to enforce it, don't you? Those people that have claimed that they control us. Those people that have claimed that they govern us, even though they have no evidence of that fact. Even though that they are duty bound to provide that evidence, which they never will be able to. Yeah. So when are we going to have? Yeah. When are we going to have people? When are we going to have some decent, upright citizens that's going to go around and collect this? When are we going to have some people with intelligence? Yeah. Because I'm not a business mind that wise. No, we need some debt collecting agencies. People that work for the common law, for the men of the land, for the people that will go around and enforce the true law, the law of the land in that sense, yeah. Because these are the you know, that are going to go and collect on and enforce the you know, the securitized commercial liens, yeah. These liens that have been put against these criminals that have been doing these damages to we the people, so that they can go and collect on them because duty correct. Then they can go and get their money for what they're being done, because then they can go and actually do an honourable job. Then they could go and collect in money that is required to be going collecting monies. You know, you got all these debt collectors going around taking money off people that doesn't require taking. You've got all these people going around taking people's houses which they shouldn't be taking. Why don't you debt collectors, just get together here and start saying, I'll tell you what, anyone got any liens? Anyone got any professional quality, you know, done correctly? Anyone got any quality liens, yeah, that have been done correctly and righteously to take, so that we can go and start stripping these filthy elites, yeah? These filthy elites that have got all the money, that have stolen it from us all people, yeah, so that we can start taking it back, yeah? And we can start putting that money back into the system, yeah? It'd be good, wouldn't it? If only we could have. When our army boys end up homeless on the street because they are slow to the bank manager and the birth certificate from day one, they can't leave the service because they used their signature before. What's a revocation of a power of attorney? You know, guys, come on, what's revocation of a power of attorney? And what's this about the small print? What's this about a void contract because there was, you know, if not full disclosure? Come on, guys, yeah, you know, you military guys, you should know you've got no fucking tie to them. They duped you. The Queen isn't even the Queen, is she? She duped you. They was put there. Check your Courtenay heading. He lives in Isle of Wight and is a common law advocate. Yeah. New video coming soon, brother. Yeah, nice one, Owen. Nice one, buddy. Yeah. So I mean, like you say, at the end of the day, guys, it's all about everybody's got their own ways, haven't they? You know, I'm aware of a community. I'm aware of the community because that community grows. People bring in their things to that community and they add to that community, and that's where the strength and the wisdom and the knowledge that is all shared within that community. And that's where that community forms its power, because knowledge is power, and that's where we strive, thrive, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Hey up, bit dark. Yeah, it's just going dark now. Been a bit of a cloudy, overcast day all day. We had a little bit of rain today as well. Get that gold off royalty and then Vatican and give it back to the people. Well, that was what John was claiming. Everything back for the people. He was taking the shit back, wasn't he? I mean, how many hundreds of years we going? Well, if we go back to what John was in 1823. So then you got the Rothschilds, everything, all these people. I mean, John named it all on his affidavit. He put a 970 million trillion pound note on the whole lot, which was to claim back everything that had been stolen from the people to put in the pot to be shared out amongst the people. You know, come on. I mean, these were the things that we was doing. Now we're doing it the same, in a similar, same sense, same fashion, but now we're doing it with the Purple Fund community, with the trust of the Purple Fund community to the pot for the people. And obviously, realistically, what was real about the scenario and the difference between the Purple Fund community and what John's was doing, he was asking for people to apply for the share. Only to apply for a share in the tidal turbines, because they automatically became the beneficiary of everything that John was claiming back, and John couldn't claim anything back for himself, just like the Purple Fund community can't claim anything back for itself, but for the people, of course it can. And every Purple Fund community member automatically become a beneficiary of everything that's being claimed back. So, you know, same sense basically. So now you're not applying for a share. This time you're applying for the differentiation, so that you can prove and show to these fictional organisation corporations like i.e. police and so on and so forth, yeah, that you can actually show them that you have a proof of life, that you are back on the land. You're no longer lost at sea. You're no longer lost or dead at sea in your terminologies. You know, you're no longer salvageable, because you're now actually, you know, you've got your feet firmly foot on the ground, and you have you're in your two-dimensional world that these people live in with this paperwork. You have the paperwork to prove it. So you have your own live claim, which separates you in pointing out that you are not the placenta, that you are not the legal fiction or the all caps. You are actually the living flesh and blood man, or in other terms as the Attorney General over that fiction, because you have the use of that, because it's there for your use, i.e. your driving license and your passport, and you have that in tow, so to say. Yeah, you have it in tow. So, you know, for the ease of the cognition, for the idiots, or I say idiots, or for the nice people, should I say, because it means the same thing. Yeah, the true meaning of the word nice. For the nice police officers and the nice customs officers, you know, for the ease of their cognition, because they only can recognise like a driving licence or a passport, you can now show them with confidence your driving licence, you can show them with confidence your passport, but you can also show them at the same time your C-Pass, to state that you are the accommodating party to your driving licence and to your passport, and that your passport or your driving licence is not you. You are the living flesh and blood man with a claim of life standing on the ground, and the legal fiction is the legal fiction, and you have that power over that legal fiction to use it because it was there for you to use. You didn't create it, but it was there for you to use. He who creates it owns it. You don't own it. That's a fiction name, but it's yours to use. It was a bond. It's there. It's yours. It's yours to use, but you didn't. You didn't create it. So basically, I mean, really, I mean, it's people to understand exactly. I mean, that when you've got that into your head, and you can explain that to your fellow brother and sister, then you've obviously done your due diligence, yeah. And by doing your due diligence and being able to explain to your fellow brother and sister exactly what I've just explained to you, you will have that understanding. And that is the confidence that you require, and you're going to require it when you come against a policeman or when you come against a customs man, because you're gonna have to get it through to them. You're gonna have to make them understand. Or, you know, they're not gonna listen to a word you're saying, because if you don't realise how to express it and explain it clearly, and you know, you best say nothing at all. Just let your paperwork speak for you, because you know you're there as your CPAS. That is you. You know, learn. It's all the learning curve, guys. You know, anyone who's coming into the Purple Fun community, they were speaking earlier on tonight. In fact, it's nice to actually hear people realizing that they're not ready yet, because you know you're not ready unless you can explain it, unless you fully you're not ready yet. And people that admit that they're not ready, you are now telling me, you know, you've got it, you're understood. The other people that are shouting their mouths off thinking they know it and just shouting their mouths off, I see them fall all the time. Because when it comes down to coming in front of that policeman, they don't know how to handle themselves, and the fear gets the better of them, and they mess up. They mess up. They say things that they shouldn't say. They race their mouth off when they should be slowing themselves down, staying centered, and hey ho, they hang themselves like. Andy, I have a simple drive without due care and attention court case, no victim, no damage, just me. What do you think I should do in court? Well, for a start off, you don't go to court. The court is the paper. Now, and if to explain it in the way of what the Baron would do, I can give you two ways to express what to do just there. First of all, yeah, that's an act or a statute they're enforcing upon you. Now, the Baron David, I don't know if you know the Baron David Ward. The Baron David Ward had made an affidavit in court, should I say, in court, made an affidavit of truth in court, asking, it was over a parking ticket. Okay, now he didn't go against the parking ticket. He didn't go against the act. He went in with the simple question that he who makes the claim has a duty bound to provide the material evidence to substantiate that claim. And his point was, you're saying that that act applies to me. You're classing me as the governed, so therefore the governed equals a consent of the governed would mean that the governed would have had to have given the wet ink signature. Therefore, you are duty bound now to provide that wet ink signature, but not just of me. You know, because the governed is governing the whole people of the UK. So you are now duty bound to provide me the 60, whatever, at the time it was 63.5 million wet ink signatures, which they couldn't do. If they can't provide the fact, then they was the ones that failed. You remained in honour. They couldn't provide the fact that those acts and statutes could be enforced upon you because you hadn't given any consent. Therefore, it's immaterial. The case gets dropped. That would be one way. The other way would be also going as the fact, because for a start off, that summons that you've got for court isn't to you, sir. It's to your legal fiction. You'll notice that because it's in your all capitals name. For a start off, that's incorrect. That is Title 18, 1342. That's use of fictional name and fictional address, which is against the law. You need to ask them to stop and correct. Remember, you have a right. If you was French, If you was French, would you not be asking to him, I don't understand that, it's in English, I don't understand it. You know, can you send me that in French? And they would have to send to you in French. Okay. Well, you have another choice. I mean, if you have a live claim, that is. And if you're a live claimant, you have the title floor flag, which is the correct sentence, switch, communication, parse, syntax, grammar flag, and therefore you can use that because that is your flag under you wish to use it under your terms and conditions, and that is a language flag. So to remain in honour, to be able to answer to any of those questions within that summons or that charge that's been put against you, for you to be able to read it even. Because you can't even read it, you don't even understand anything that's on that document, and I can verify that for a fact. You do not know what is being said on that document. In fact, there's nothing that's being said on that document to you because there's not one fact on there. So you can ask them to see the correct sentence, switch, communication, parse, syntax, grammar for the avoidance of perjury. Provide them their your live claim, and ask them to speak to you as a fact with factual language. And that way you'll also find that they also negate. They just leave you alone. So those are two ways that I'm going to give you suggestions. You know, but you have to know that and how to follow that through. If they do come, because they will just continue. You know, you just have to keep rebutting. You know what they give you, and if you wish to, you know, you can go to, if they continue, and you know you want to press charges against them for what because that's coercion. You know, then you can create a tort like the Baron has done. The Baron put a tort against a lot of the people like that. You know, because at the end of the day, yeah, as the Baron very clearly pointed out, yeah, anybody enforcing an act or statute on another man without his consent, yeah, that they do require that. Therefore, that's no different than any bully or anything else, right? And therefore, yeah, that's malfeasance in public office. They're in office. They have got rules that they have to adhere to. Okay, so they would be breaching their acts and statutes that they do have to adhere to. And what they would be actually breaching, what the breach would be is malfeasance in office, which is up to life imprisonment. And that would be a £15 million tort, what the Baron would create against them. A lien, a financial commercial instrument, a lien that he would put on them and their 7 generations, because obviously the Baron's well aware that the policeman doesn't get a good enough wage. You know, a £15 million tort against a policeman. How would a policeman ever pay that £15 million lien? He wouldn't, would he? And according to the Bible, as it clearly states, you know, it would be on the 7 generations. So it's not just on that policeman, it would be on that policeman's sons and their sons and their sons and so on. And that's not nice. It's not nice, but hang on. Don't blame the person that shouts, yeah, because somebody stuck a pin in him. You know, don't look at the person that got that person, you know, put that lien against that stupid copper. Look at that stupid copper because he didn't pay attention to what he was being told. And as long as you've, and honourably, in the Bible it will also state, yeah, honourably, if you notify them honourably, let them know, you know, by all means, you know, write that, like I did in London, you know, you send me that summons, man, I'm gonna screw you, you know, you're gonna get punished for doing that. You know, that's what I told them, and they never censored me. But what I'm saying to you is, like, you know, you have to give them notice, like, you know, look, you send that summons, you're going to give me the evidence, and you're going to force me to remain in honour. You're going to force me now to make that tort lien against you, because you're torturing me. You know, you're creating it. Yeah. Thank you, my friend. If I don't go to court, I'll get a warrant sent. Again, it's sent. Listen, you confuse. Don't confuse. Please don't confuse. A court, yeah. The court is the paper. The foreign vessels in dry dock is not the court. The court is the paper. Please get that clearly in your head, because that's what everybody needs to understand. The court is the paper. Your court venue is your letterbox. Your house is your venue. This is where your court, it's in your court, mate, your paper. Keep it on the paper. Do not go into their foreign vessels in dry dock. You're going into their territory and it's their fucking rules, mate. You ain't going to succeed in there, mate. Don't go in them. Keep it out of court. Keep it on the court. Keep it out of the fucking foreign vessels, them ships in dry dock, them pirates that have brought in their frigging ships and dumped them all over our land to harvest us and to steal all our land from us. That's what them courts are. Them court buildings that people keep thinking are courts. The court is the paper, please. Don't get confused. Understand that, yeah? So keep it on the court, keep it on the level playing field, which is a piece of flat paper. Courts are flat, tennis courts are flat, badminton courts are flat. You go into their buildings, yeah, you better know what their tricks and traps are. For a start off, yeah, the judge is not on the well of the court. He's sitting on a different plane. You need to remove all planes if you're going into a court to make it a level playing field so that the judge does not have judicial immunity. You need to remove the four-corner rule so that everything within a box can be heard, because there are no boxes and everything must be heard in that court. You need full transparency because that's your protection. They've put all these things in there to trick and trap you so that they can do what they do, because they're not nice people. And you make sure that idiot takes his frigging wig off and all, because you ain't hiding your thoughts to God. You ain't hiding your thoughts to Creator. You judges, you sick people, you ill people, you psychopaths, you Masonic, whatever you are. You know, enough's enough. You think you friggin' can sit there and harvest. They can't judge another man. They're no judges, my friend. They're not judges. You know, they're not judges. Well, we're all judges, mate, yeah? You're your own competitive witness, mate, yeah? Remove their tricks and traps if you ever go in them damn places. Remove the planes and remove the boxes, and tell him to remove his wig, and you can tell him to friggin' take that black jacket off and all, because he ain't mourning you, because you ain't dead. You is alive and kicking, my brother, and you is your you is your attorney general over the fiction that they have summons the dead to court. They summons the placenta. If you're going to go and represent your placenta, you represent it well, and you make sure that that placenta gets every little piece of information that he needs. No more trickery. You look after your placenta well. Look after your legal fiction well, yeah? Don't let them think they own it and take it off you and try and trick you to be in it. Use it wisely, yeah? Bye for now. Doing dinner. Okay, Maria? I'm going to get off now anyway, because I'm going to go back. So anyway, that's my little piece for today. Hope that came across okay. Hope it didn't come across as nasty or violent or anything like that, because I don't want to give these creatures any excuse to take me out. You know, I want to give you the truth. I want you to know what I've come to understand, and I hope I hope with all my sincerity that the way I put it across, it paints a clearer picture for you guys out there. Yeah. Only a jury of your peers can judge a man. That's perfectly true. And you know what, Red? How am I going to find, yeah, a jury of 12 of my peer? Where am I going to find 12 people that understand what I understand? Because that's what I class as a peer. You know, and if I went in there under the quantum grammar, how would I find 12 jury that understands quantum grammar? This is where the difficulty in lies when we talk about those things. But I fully agree, and I totally concur with you. Yes, 12 of my peers. You know, I don't want 12 of your sheep, your herd. You know, those people that haven't a clue that will walk in there and tell me, oh, I should be wearing a mask because they do. You know. Okay, cool. I'll contact my common law advocate friend for sure, brother, for sure, and make sure you stay well away from their harvesting places. You stay well away from their harvesting places, because they are nothing but foreign vessels in dry dock. There is no courts, there is no law. Okay, certainly understand everything you have explained. No, thank you. No, I'm glad. I'm glad, and I hope it serves you well. I hope it serves you well. But remember, yeah, you need, you know, you wouldn't. I mean, the thing is, yeah, it's all about getting out there and doing it, guys. It's all about getting out and doing it. Once you do it, yeah, you will have that. It will be. Is that all I had to do? Is that all I had to do? It really is that. The scary bit is like everything else, and it's like jumping off a, you know, when it's like, oh God, it's dead, and you jump like, and it's, is that it? I'm going back up now to have another go. So once you go through these, once you get through that, once you do this, but remember, like, we're here to remain in honour. We're here to remain humble, and with humility, correct these people, because at the same time, like, I've nothing against no policemen. I've nothing against the judges and all this. I mean, because I haven't been in their shoes, guys. Who am I? Who the hell am I to say what these people are when I haven't been there? I haven't lived their life. I haven't been through whatever they've been to, whatever it was that made them heartless and, heartless, no empathy. I can only imagine, and I don't like imagining it because I've exposed a lot of the satanic abuse, like, so I know what these, I know how cruel people can be, yeah. So at the end of the day, we've got to be caring. The only thing that's going to save this world is love, and that's why, so that's why all about the Purple Fun community, guys, because that's Aotearoa, Aotearoa, that which is the world of love, yeah. We are the courts. It takes 13 men. Here we go again. More facts here. It's power. It's power. Yeah, it's power that absolutely. Yeah, it's absolute. I mean, because at the end of the day, that's the thing. You see, where's the equality, guys? Where's the power and equality? The power is within the truth. That's where the power lies. The power lies within the knowledge. And that knowledge should not have been held back from us, guys. That's why I won't hold it back from anyone. That's why they stopped that truth from getting out there. That's why they kept blocking me. Maybe it was because I wasn't putting it out right. Maybe because I was getting angry and I was still going through my stages of understanding and explaining it. So I wasn't explaining it good enough. Because the last thing I want to do is ever incite any violence. Because there's no need for it, guys. We've won. That's all I'm going to say is we've won. Yeah. Those people have also been deceived, I feel, exactly. Please tell us how do not have to wear a mask. The thing is, it's like giving you a live life claim. It's like giving you a C-pass. You can give you these things, right? Yeah, but you have to know it in yourself. And any fear that it's not going to, if you don't think something's going to work, this is the beauty of the Creator. This is the beauty of the Creator, If you abuse something, you lose it, guys. If you abuse your power, you lose your power, And it's not abusing it in an intentional way. It's the abuse of power was not putting that time in for yourselves. And I abused it for a long time because I got sucked into being me, and I was just like all you guys, everyone. We were all the same. We all had the same indoctrinations. We all had the same programming. But when I did take that time, and that was when I invested that time in myself. So by abuse, what I mean is you haven't given yourself the time. You've given yourself the time to go out and have a drink, watch fucking films what you want, and party. But you haven't given yourself the time, so you've abused yourself by not giving yourself that time, that indoctrinate, to get rid of all the indoctrinations, to get rid of the programming that you've been given. Because as a child, I would, if I was talking to the child, you knew as a child, you're not going to learn anything, by the way, guys. You're going to remember. So remember yourself, mate. If you want to know how not to do it, yeah. How would a kid not do what you tell him? How would a child not do what you tell him to do? Yeah, he'd just ignore you. So why? Prove it. Why? Ask the question. But I mean, we can be in the same sense. At the end of the day, inside yourself, you should know, yeah, that number one, yeah, if it's causing you any stress, then you're medically exempt. Yeah, number one. The fact that there's no act or statute that can enforce it on you. Number two, all the things that you need to understand for the reasons why they cannot ask you. When you know that inside yourself, yeah, you know that they can't ask you. So play along with it, guys, because these people don't know what they're doing. They're just doing as they're told. So you just let them know that, listen, I'm medically exempt, my friend. Just play along with it. Look, I'm medically. You don't have to go into an explanation to say that you've got no authority to tell me, blah blah blah, so on and so forth, because you'd lose yourself in the details. Just say that I'm medically exempt, and if they ask you, say that's. And that's, by the way, that is also, that is not it's not lawful for you to ask me that. And you know, data protection says that I mustn't give you, and you mustn't ask me. So thank you very much, but you know, and I'm on my way. I'm just doing what I'm doing, mate. You know, I'm not into all that. You can't ask me that. You can't ask me for my details. You can't ask me to do these things. I'm medically exempt. I've given you my answer. I'm moving on. Thank you. You want to come physically touch me, then sorry, I'm going to protect myself. You know, however you want to do it, guys. I don't know. Everyone's got their own way, you know. But you've got to remember, you've got to ooze that confidence. If you ooze that confidence, mate, they'll stay away from you. I'm telling you now. They leave you alone. Yeah. Where were you born? Born to breathe oxygen. We were born to breathe oxygen. Use your own discernment. Yeah. When we educate the policeman of the law, then we can hold court against the unlawful corporate administrations that are forcing Roman laws upon the people without the battle. Yeah, I mean, there you go. There's the Roman laws. See. So what is it? No, it's not forcing it, Reginald. Not forcing it. It is the Roman law, though, isn't it? What is it? Eh? Let those that are deceived be deceived. So for the people out there that don't understand the fact that you know, some of the points that I've pointed out to you, you know, then you're deceived. And if you are deceived, then I'm sorry, guys. What you get is what you get. You know, and if you're not going to invest that little bit of time into yourself, and it's not a little bit, I've granted. You know, it's a lot of time and it's a lot of work. But let's put it this way, yeah. You know, you're the one that's it's you the one that's going to benefit from it. So if you don't do it, you know, you're the one that's going to also not benefit from it. You know, make your path, you know, make your bed, you lie in it. You know, make your bed nice. You know, spend that little bit of time and make it nice, and you're in a nice bed. And I'm certainly in a far better bed now than I was pretty 6 years ago. But I'll tell you something, it's been a lot of work to get to make this bed where it is. You know, and I've spent a lot of time on myself doing this. And may I also say thank you to all you people out there, because, you know, you were the one that, by me trying to explain myself, because this is where the teacher gets the most of it, you know, for those people that embarked on this journey with me, you know, you've been there, and I hope you've got something out of it, because I know that I've certainly got something out of it, and I hope we've all benefited. So on that note, I'm going to go back in. So I love all of you. Keep smiling. Remember, there is no, you know, we just need to change that shift in the mindset. You know, we're all doom and gloom. We shouldn't be doom and gloom. That's the fear-based mind control that they've got you in. You know, keep the optimistic side. Just put that little bit of time and effort into yourselves, and you'll realise that, you know, you've won already. You've already won. Acquiescence, not force. My bag. I help Lynn. It's just come in time for me to go. Anyway, God bless all. Like I say, love you all. Just keep the love for your family. Don't fall out over whether they do or not. You know, the truth's coming out, mate. You know, and like I say, the harder you make it for them to, you know, the harder it is for someone to say, okay, I was wrong. The more the cognitive dissonance is not going to allow them to understand what was the truth. So like I used to say to everybody, don't worry about me. For all the people that have called me and said all that, I said, don't worry about it. I've already forgiven you. I just pray you can, you know, you can find, you know, forgive yourself. Don't worry about it. And the people who go, oh, I'm sorry, I just took. It doesn't matter. It didn't matter to me, because the only thing is, yeah, that you've understood. That was where I got my, you know, to be understood is all we ever wanted. Yep. So good for you, Andy. We are in your corner. Stay mindful. God bless. Okay now. Bye bye for now. Keep smiling.